Hello, welcome to another edition of Carp Escape. For this session you join me down at Catch 22 once again, but this time we're fishing the island swim. The island swim is up the north end of the lake, the same as the nature reserve. If you watched my previous video that we done there almost a year ago to the day, we filmed over there. Got 3 nights ahead of me. It's just me on my own, fishing on the nature reserve, on the island swim, sorry. You can have 2 of you on here, but it's just me on my own. And we're going to see what happens. I have also got another trip back on here again in July, so about a month and a half ahead of this. We're now the last week of May, so I'm going to film this in 2 parts and put them together, so it'll be one big video consisting of this 3-night session and that 2-night session in a month's time. So we've kind of got the best of both worlds. This video is going to be pre-spawnum. July 1 will obviously most definitely be after spawnum. Like I said, it's the last week of May. The Syndicate Lake next door, the fish started spawning this week, so potentially, you know, this main lake is only a few days away from when they're going to start spawning. I haven't seen any signs of them starting yet, which is great. The weather's really overcast, low air pressure, bit moody, bit rainy, not too hot, not too sunny, so I'm hoping it's going to keep them at bay, and they'll hopefully keep their heads down and not crack on with that just yet. So yeah, so we've got 3 nights ahead of me. I'm going to sit back, relax, and see what this brings. Catch you in a bit. Right, so we're now coming towards the end of the first day. It's now 20 past 9. Light's starting to fade quite quickly now. Wind's dropped off, so it's pretty calm. Seen a few more fish show, so I'm happy, I'm confident that there's you know, some fish in the area. My right hand rod I've moved literally only 12 wraps out to my right hand side. Saw a fish this morning, well this afternoon, show 4 or 5 times. Had a quick couple of casts around with a bare lead, and it looked as if it was sort of just inside of a sort of showing on top of a weed bed, so I managed to find a nice clear spot just on the left hand side of it. So yeah, put a rig on there. I had a single hook bait on there all afternoon, hasn't gone off yet, so I've just put sort of 10 spoms over the top. Keeping it simple as always. Apex 20mm and 15mm freebies, glugged them up and covered them in some real ground up fine Apex as well. Hook baits, 2 different ones on each rod, and you've got 2 rods here, so you're allowed to use. On that rod on the right hand side I've got a 20mm bottom bait and a match the hatch 15mm pop up, fish snowman style obviously, both Apex, and on the other rod, which is fish to the far margin, my old faithful 20mm Apex bottom bait and a 15mm Strawberry Fields pop up. So that's what we're going with tonight. I'll put a bit more bait over the further out rod on the far margin. I'll put probably, I reckon, nearly 1 kilo over that rod just to see what's happened. I've decided to go right down the side, the left hand side of the far margin. Everyone fishes the far margin from this swim, but most people fish it kind of pretty much straight out or slightly to the right because it sticks out and it's a lot of an easier cast. It's only about 19 wraps, so I've gone right down to the left hand side where they've actually cut back some trees recently from what it looks like to me. I'm fishing at 24 wraps, so yeah, I'm a bit further down the bank. Potentially, main only reason being really I want to try and be somewhere where most people don't go. When I've been here before and I watch people fish, everyone goes to that near margin because it's right in front of you. It's a short cast and that's what everyone does, but I like to try and be a little bit different where I can. So yeah, sun's fading, time's ticking on. I'll make myself a cup of tea, get settled in for the night, and fingers crossed I'll see you again through the night with a fish in my arms. See you in a bit. Well, good morning. Sadly, nothing to report throughout the night. Not a lot happened, to be perfectly honest with you. Heard several fish crash throughout the night, especially close into my right hand side. Really sounded like it was in amongst that weed bed where I saw the fish show yesterday afternoon, right where I've got a bait on the edge of it. So quite surprised that rod hasn't gone off, but that's the way it goes. apart from that, yeah, a few liners here and there, not a huge amount really. It's quite surprising, to be honest. Felt really confident last night of a few bites. The wind's still pushing up here this morning. Been up for a few hours now since first light. Not really seen a great deal, to be perfectly honest with you. But we'll just keep plugging away, see what today brings. I haven't bothered bringing the rods in because I'm still hopeful of a bite. Like I say, it's nice and overcast still. Wind's still pushing up here. Air pressure's still quite low, so I'm going to cook some breakfast and yeah, we'll see what the morning brings. Okay, so now come to the end of day 2. Been nothing to report again all day, unfortunately. Really quiet. Seen a couple of fish show, not as many as what I would like, was expecting to. Seen one on the far bank on the tree line to my right, which is in peg 31's water, not mine. So what I have done is my rod that was fished long on the far margin on the tree line, I've brought that in and I've actually moved it onto pretty much onto the corner, which is the spot that most people fish, purely because it's as close as I can get to where I saw that fish show. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll try that for a night. I have had a bream though on my open water rod, which is absolutely fine with me. It's okay, I've had the one. I don't mind picking off the odd one, because I know from experience, especially on this lake, if you get one, keep feeding, keep recasting, put in the effort, the carp will come in and push them off. So I'm hoping that that's what's going to be the case. I haven't had any more since, so fingers crossed. That was 3 hours ago now. Wind's now swung round, it's now more of a westerly, so coming from my left to my right. Still really strong. Little bit really overcast now. I know the night's drawing in a little bit, but it's really cloudy. It did just rain just a few seconds ago, so might be in for a bit of a change overnight. So yeah, we'll wait and see. I haven't seen anybody else around the lake catch anything that I know of. I haven't rowed back over to go for a walk or anything to see if anybody has caught anything, but didn't hear much last night. I definitely haven't seen or heard anybody catch anything today, and I've been out and about at the front of the swim watching the water all day. So yeah, looks like it's been a bit of a quiet 24 hours for everyone. But anyway, gotta be in it to win it, and we're definitely in it, so fingers crossed for tonight. We'll see what happens, and please come on, hopefully I'll see you during the night with a nice big fat carp in my hands. Right, finally we're off the mark. So I was 2 in the morning, second night into third morning. The left hand rod fished out in the open water has gone off. Bob and slammed up to the top of the rod, only a few clicks, didn't really take much line at start. Picked it up, started playing it, swam towards me, a little head shake here and there. Thought it was a bream, to be perfectly honest. It was only probably as it got about 6 wraps in, all of a sudden started digging in deep, holding heavy, putting up a bit of scrap. Yeah, and we were rewarded with a beautiful mid-20 mirror. Yeah, 24.9. So we had forgot now. Yeah, 24.9 mirror. Cracking looking fish, full of fight. Let's get it up, show you what she looks like. There she is. First fish of the session, mid-20, down here at catch 22. Caught on that open water rod on match hatch hook bait, Apex 20mm and 15mm pop up from Impulse baits. Absolutely nailed it was in the bottom lip. An absolute cracker. Happy days. Take a few pics quickly, we'll slip her back. Took us longer to get off the mark than what we thought it would, but we're off the mark, we're up and running. happy days. Let's hope there's some more to come. Well, good morning. Oh, tell ya, waking up this morning knowing that we had that fish last night, or early hours this morning, the relief absolutely gone over my head. I was really getting worried when I went to bed last night, thinking this was going to end up being a checkbook and pen session. There's nothing worse than a blankety blank, is there, let's be honest. But yeah, well happy. So like I said, the fish came off the rod out in the middle of, just out in sort of, we'll say no man's land, but just out in the middle off the back of a gravel bar. It's the spot that I actually said that I had the bream off yesterday afternoon. So as you remember, I said I have found here especially that it can be quite a good thing when you do pick up the odd bream, because once the bream have disappeared and done their feeding, the carp will follow in after. And I think that just goes to show that that potentially is, you know, it can happen. Took several hours after the bream, obviously, but I persisted. The rod went back accurate. 3 or 4 more sponfuls of boilies over the top, and then yeah, rewarded after 2 this morning with that beautiful mirror, mid-20 mirror. Happy days. So we've still got 1 night left and a day. I'm gonna row back over to that and go for a walk and go and find a coffee somewhere. I'm starting to get cabin fever being over here for 48 hours by myself, trapped with nowhere to walk and nobody else to speak to. So I need to go stretch my legs really, my back's starting to hurt and all that. So yeah, and then I think tonight, if I don't see anything show on that far tree line, both rods are going to go on that spot where I had the fish from last night. We'll put some more bait over it and see if we can pick 1 or 2 more off over the last night. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to ping the rods in now, go stretch my legs, give them a little bit of bait before I leave, just so they can have a little feed, hopefully with no lines in the water. See if that will serve me well later. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll catch you in a bit. Okay, so we're now coming into the final night of the session. Rods are all out, sorted, plenty of bait around them. I'm happy. Decided to put both rods on the same spot, the spot that I had the fish off last night. Seems silly not to be fair. I've not seen anything showing on the far tree line today, so I don't think there's any point in keep wasting the rod out there. Rested the swim this afternoon for a few hours. It was quite nice, reeled it in, put a bit of bait out, went had a real good walk around the lake, had a chat to all the other anglers that were fishing. There's been quite a few fish out actually, more than what we thought. Some decent fish as well, quite a few 30s have come out the last few days, so a little bit disappointing as to why I haven't seen them show up this end of the lake, considering, you know, the wind's been hacking up here and this is generally one of the most consistent swims on the lake for this time of year. But anyway, that is what it is. So yeah, rods are out and we're ready to go for the evening, so fingers crossed we'll get one. So yeah, we'll see. On a side note, if anybody's thinking about getting one of those solar panelled like bag portable showers that you can get if you go fishing for a few days at a time and you know there's no shower facilities there, I strongly recommend it. I bought one, haven't used it at all. Today I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. The showers here are closed temporarily at the moment. Just fill it up with water, lay it out in the sun for, well, I left it out for about 3-4 hours, come back, it was pretty warm, but I decided to top it up with a kettle full of boiling water. Didn't have a full shower, but just hung it from a tree, washed my hair, my face, my sort of upper body, and it was well good. Really impressed actually. I think it only probably cost me about 10 quid off eBay. Folds up into nothing, you can chuck it in your bag, and actually it's a bit of a win. So if you're in the market for one, I definitely suggest getting them. They're not bad at all. So here you go, little tip for you. So yeah, we'll kick back, relax now, have some dinner, and hope that the night brings us some more. So I'll catch you in a bit. Well, would you believe it? It's 4:45 in the morning, on the final morning, and we've only gone and got another fish. Oh, absolute screamer, 1 toner, off like a shot. Had a right mare getting it in, got caught up on the other rod, ended up dragging that halfway in, went under, over, left, right and centre, absolutely flipping mess. Anyway, most important thing is, we got the fish in. I've just quickly pinged both the rods back at it again because they're clearly on the spot. Obviously both rods were fished on the same spot again last night, so the fish are clearly there. So I want to ping them back out because I've still got about 4 or 5 hours left before I leave. So I just pinged them both back out again. They've gone out sweet as a pea, right next door to each other. And yeah, in the net we have got a nice common. It looks big, it looks heavy, it looks very fat, so I'm hoping that it's going to be a 30 plus. So I'm going to get myself sorted, get everything set up, we'll get it out and we'll take a look at her. My God, that is a big fish. That is fat as hell. Wow. Oh, let's lift her up and have a look, shall we? There she is, 38 pound and 7 ounce of absolute beautiful common carp from a catch 22 on the day ticket lake island swim. Oh, well happy with this, well worth wiping out the other rod for. Came off that spot, like I say, out in the middle of the lake. This one actually came off the 20mm Apex bottom bait with the 15mm white Strawberry Fields pop-up combo, not the match hatch this time. Just goes to show this one fancied a little bit more of a brighter one to look at. I'll show you the other side. And there she is. Here's the other side of her. Absolute beautiful fish, mint condition, belly as fat as you like, full of spawn. She's ready to go, so I'm not going to keep her out of the water any longer. I'm going to slip her back and hope within the last 3-4 hours I've got left, while I start slowly packing up, I might be blessed with another one of these beautiful fish from down here at catch 22. Oh, I'm so happy. Get in. Right, well, that's me done and dusted again. That's another session drawn to an end. Gears packed, loaded, on the boat, ready to go. So you're jumping down, row back over to the mainland. It's been a half decent session. 2 fish. I'd like to have more. I expect to have more. I'm not going to lie about it. I'll be asking myself a few questions once I'm driving home as to what I could have done differently, maybe. But I don't know really. I've played around with everything. I've chucked zigs out during the day. I've tried sort of stalking near weed beds where they've been sitting during the day with no luck, and just happens to be that both my fish have come from an open water spot, both at first light, early hours of the morning. Not complaining too much. I mean, that 38 pound 7 common was an absolute beast, and like I say, it's the biggest fish I've had in a long time, so I'm really happy with that. So yeah, that's it for me for this time. I will see you in part 2, which will be back here again, but it'll be July, 48 hours. And we'll see what happens. Obviously it'll be post spawning after that point, so hopefully they'll be on the feed. It's going to be quite hot, potentially being July, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, so on that note, thanks very much, and I'll see you back here 6 weeks time. But for us, I'll see you in 3, 2, 1, and we're back. So what's different this time round? A little bit warmer. We're now in the 2nd week of July. It's not been as warm as what you'd expect it to be for July, but the sun is out, pressure's quite high, cloudy. Looks like it could potentially rain a bit, but who knows, we'll wait and see on that one. It's not forecast to. Got on here a little while ago, didn't bother recording anything, didn't waste any time, just got the rod set up, got the house up and everything, and just pinged a couple of singles out. I'll put one rod back on the same spot out in the open water that we fished last time, where we had those 2 fish off, including that absolutely cracking 38 pound common. So if we can get more of the same of that, that'd be fantastic. Left hand rod, I've pinged it out on the same spot I mentioned before, to the left hand side, only about sort of 12 wraps out, clean bit of gravel in between 2 weed beds. Saw some fish moving around in there as I was setting up, so it seemed like a really good logical choice to do. So yeah, I just pinged a single hook bait near that as well. And now we're just going to sit back, relax, chill out for a few hours, watch water, see if anything shows, and then yeah, I'll make a plan of action for tonight. So yeah, until then, chill out, keep an eye on the water. I'll catch you in a bit. Right, so day's starting to draw in now a little bit. It's now early evening, it's about 7 o'clock at night. Sort the rods out properly now, put a bit of bait around them. Same as last time, 15, 20 and 20 mil, glugged and glazed, Apex formula from Impulse Baits. Decided to take the left hand rod off the close in spot near the weed beds. I haven't seen a lot moving in and out of there for a little while now, and it didn't do nothing, so I've stuck with what I know from last time. 2 rods basically straight out at the back end of a gravel bar, just as it meets the silt. They're literally probably 3-4 foot into the silt at the back of the gravel bar. So we had the 2 fish from last time, so I'm going to do exactly the same again. 1 rod on each bait, same as last time, snowman style. 20 mil bottom bait, 1 with a 15 mil match the hatch pop up, and the second one with my trusty old Strawberry Fields white 15 mil pop up as well. So yeah, they're both out there, went out there nice and easy. First cast, hit the deck with a nice big bang, and I'll probably put about, I'll probably put 2 kilo of boilies over the top of them. Yeah, and we'll see what happens. I don't know how much bait's been put in here recently. I know there was people on here yesterday. I just saw them come off this morning, but I actually got here a night early and I fished the one of the swims on the side, peg 2, and by the time I realised they'd rowed over, I didn't have a time to reel in my rods to go and see them. But that doesn't overly fuss me too much, to be fair. I'm happy with what I'm doing. I know they were fishing at least 1 rod over on the far margin, like everybody does, but whether they had anything or not, I don't know. I didn't see anything or hear any commotion from them during the night, so who knows. But anyway, rods are out, bit of bait around them. I'm happy, I'm confident. I'm going to get the kettle on, and I'll catch you in a bit. Okay, so light's starting to disappear really quickly now, and things are starting to liven up a little bit. The middle spot where I've now got both my rods, as I was setting up this camera to do this little piece, a decent sized fish is just completely sort of head and shouldered out and flopped back into the water. I'm sure it's right over my spot. If it wasn't over my spot, it's a rod length or 2 shorter or further, but it looked pretty bang on to me. So I'm really confident of that spot tonight, so fingers crossed, hopefully, if not sometime sooner rather than later, I'm hopeful we can get a take off that. Apart from that, not much more to report. A couple of more people turned up, so there's been a bit more sort of atmosphere of people chucking leads around here and there, but they're mainly behind me, so it doesn't really interfere too much with what I'm doing. So yeah, so that's it from me for today. Let's see what the night brings. Fingers crossed, we'll see you during the night with a fish or 2. Happy days. Okay, well, good morning. Not a huge amount to report this morning actually, just finished the first night over on the island. I'm absolutely wounded. About 4 o'clock this morning, right hand rod, absolutely screamed off, 1 toner. I come out, hit into it, had the fish on for a little while, playing it in, felt like a half decent fish, and got stuck in a weed bed not too far out. Yeah, buried his head, got down deep. Not really a lot I could do about it, unfortunately. Had to put the rod down, let a bit of tension off. Didn't give a slack line, but let the tension off, hoping it would swim back out again. But barbless hooks rules on here. Unfortunately, it managed to shake the hook. So yeah, a little bit gutter in that one, but there you go. That's the way it goes sometimes. But yeah, today's another day. Not going to change too much at the moment. Just going to keep my eyes open, see if anything shows me anything anywhere else. But for now, both rods are back on the spot. And just see maybe if I can pick up an early, a late morning bite, we'll say. Bite time's usually been and gone really, I think, by about 9 o'clock on here, so we'll see. Still got a couple of hours left. We'll see what happens. So yeah, tough one, but there you go, happens to us all. Okay, so we're now into early evening on the second night over here on the island. Not much to report today. I brought the rods in this morning, put a little bit of bait out and just sort of left the swim for a few hours. Went out of the coffee down the road and a little walk around the lake, chatted to a few people and stuff like that, really just to rest the swim more than anything else. Come back over this afternoon and sort of it's been quite sunny, to be fair, so I've been toying around with zigs and stuff like that to see if I can maybe pick off a bonus fish, but hasn't worked, to be fair, so nothing really to report on that front. So for tonight, exactly the same as yesterday, 2 rods, same spot out in the middle. Obviously I had to take off it last night, so I know the fish have been visiting there, so hopefully we'll do it again. Obviously topped up with a bit more bait when I put the rods out. They've gone out lovely, so happy with those. Yeah, I'm not changing anything. I'm not seeing anything showing on the far margin on the tree line, so unless I see something between now and darkness, I shan't be moving my rods. I'll leave the 2 of them on the spot and go from there. But yeah, very slow, it must be said. You know, disappointed to obviously dropped that one last night, but anyway, gotta stay positive. The rods are on the dance floor, you know, they're good to go. I know the baits work, I know the rigs work, so it's just one of those situations where you've got to stay confident. So yeah, fingers crossed for tonight, and hopefully I'll see you in a little while with a banger on the mat. Right, well finally we've got our first take of this session. Oh, at long last. Well, not first take, sorry, first fish landed for this session. Came to the same spot as always. Apex Formula 20mm bottom bait and a 15mm trimmed down 15mm strawberry fields pop up on there. This one, like the one last night that I lost, didn't get buried in weed, but it picked up a trailing line, which that line then took out my other rod. I was dragging 2 leads in. Luckily the one on this rod to come off. Yeah, so I managed to get in the trailing rig, line and lead. Obviously a bit of a palaver with my lines, but it doesn't matter, sort out, got it all sorted. So that might have played a part in the fish I lost last night, who knows. But anyway, it's only 11 o'clock, so there's still plenty of time left to go for this last night. Normally on the last session and last night, takes were coming just as light was breaking, about 4 in the morning, so fingers crossed we can get another one. I've got both rods back out on the spot again, so I'm happy with that, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But this little bad boy, 23 pound and 1 ounce common, I'm more than happy with right now. Look at him, perfect little common from down here at catch 22 in Norfolk. Put it spinning around and show you the other side. Nice and lively still. Haven't had him at the water very long, so he's nice and lively. So get this done, we're getting back. There we go. 23 pound and 1 ounce of very lively common carp down here at catch 22. And I must say, shout out to the guys at Hobo Armour, because I've just started using their Hexscape hooks, size 6. Absolutely nailed that was. If it wasn't, I don't know, if it wasn't for such a good, strong, sharp hook, I don't think for 1 minute I'd have got that in. So barbless rules here. So to get this one in whilst taking out another line and dragging in another line, testament to how strong and how sharp that hook is, because it was still nailed in the bottom lip. But anyway, let's get the fish back, and fingers crossed we'll get some more. Happy days. Okay, well, unfortunately that's it, and that brings us to a close for this episode of Carp Escape. One fish in 48 hours, lost one as well. Not the best hit, but you know, I'm happy. We've had a few fish, and hopefully you've got to see the quality of the fish that is available down here at Catch 22. It's a cracking lake and really good day ticket lake. You know, several free, I think there's got 440's been out this year, so you know there's some big girls to go out in here. Obviously that 38 that I had is an absolute beast, and that's the biggest that I've had from the day ticket lake here. I have had bigger from the syndicate, fortunately, years ago. But anyway, that's it from me. I'm gonna pack up, row back over, get back to reality, unfortunately. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.